Trump reimposes tariffs on Canadian aluminum, prompting Trudeau to vow retaliation. This is the Great White North Report. So last week, Trump reimposed tariffs on Canadian aluminum. Industry groups panned the U.S. decision, disputing the idea of a Canadian deluge. What's going on is Trump has been told by his people that Canadian companies are mass producing aluminum and they're dumping it on the U.S. market. And so he decided to reimpose a tariff of 10% on some aluminum products imported from Canada, accusing the country of reneging on a promise not to flood the United States with its exports. Now, this has prompted Canada to pledge retaliation and reignite trade tensions with a key partner. And this came just after we adopted the new North American trade agreement that Trump had been pushing so hard. So basically what Trump's doing is he says he's defending the American industry by reimposing the aluminum tariffs, and he claims that Canada is taking advantage of us as usual during a speech in Ohio. Basically, this is just a campaign election speech to get votes in Ohio, which is a swing state, especially since China pumps out more aluminum than almost everyone else. And this was done at the request of the U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer, advising him to reimpose tariffs. So what did Canada do after Trump and the U.S. decided to put a 10% tariff on our aluminum? Well, we're going to retaliate dollar for dollar after U.S. slapped it. So we're going to target goods produced in districts represented by Republicans. We're going to hit the Republicans, not the Democrats, where it hurts. And Trudeau and Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, who's a much better Prime Minister than Trudeau, said they intend to swiftly impose a dollar-for-dollar countermeasures, as Canadian aluminum does not undermine U.S. national security, and that we strengthen the U.S. economy, and have done so for decades through unparalleled cooperation between our two countries. Now, Trudeau says he's going to stand up for the aluminum workers like we did so in 2018, and we'll stand up to him again, because the U.S. had slapped those kind of tariffs in 2018 and removed them last year as part of the broad free trade deal now in force. So we retaliate with $16.6 billion in tariffs on U.S. products, including ketchup, ballpoint pens, licorice, orange juice, whiskey, and toilet paper. Oh my God, tariffs on toilet paper at a time of a pandemic? So we're trying to cause pain in the electoral districts held by key Republicans. Something that could be done, again, given the U.S. election is only 3 months away. So we're not specifying which U.S. goods, but they're going to follow a similar strategy. So basically, it's American companies that are complaining that Canadian aluminum has recently been dumped on the U.S. market. While Canadian aluminum makers have said they switched production during the CCP pandemic as demand for higher-end products crashed, and the resulting aluminum has been sent to the U.S. primary for storage. So the market's always been screwed up for the last 8 months. Now, of course, the opposition is quick to jump all over the Liberal government on this one. This is basically a U.S. move. It has nothing to do with Canada. It's an election move in a swing state. As far as Trump goes, if Trump didn't talk so much, he'd be easier to digest, but I do like his policies towards China, but not his policy towards Canada, obviously. But the fact that we tougher on the U.S. but not tough on China worries me, because they basically did the same to our canola, our pork products, until the swine flu made it necessary for them to reinstate that one. And also our lobsters are being hit by China. And yet we've done nothing to hit back at them. I'd love to see a 20% tariff on sporting goods coming from China and jerseys. So the opposition saying that Trudeau has put Canada in a weaker position to combat these tariffs after the concessions they made during the last round of American trade action. We did lose a lot during the new free trade agreement. So our Canadian aluminum workers will be hurt by what can be called as Trump's electioneering and Trudeau government's lack of action. So even the Interior Premier, Doug Ford, he blasted Trudeau with a "give your head a shake," which is kind of funny. And he promises to come out swinging against these U.S. tariffs, likening the move to backstabbing by a family member. I agree. It was uncalled for, unnecessary at this time. There are bigger fish to fry than us. I think the U.S. is just trying to stabilize their own economy. And Canada should be doing the same thing too. So Ford thinks we should hit him where it hurts, describing the province and its consumer base as an economic powerhouse. And that Ontario manufacturers should aggressively label their goods made in Ontario to help consumers buy local products. I've been saying that for years. Have made in Canada as opposed to made in somewhere like China or anywhere else. Especially like with face masks and stuff like that. So Chrystia Freeland's all set to impose $3.6 billion in tariffs in response to Trump's move. And includes numerous products made in swing states. So we'll see how that goes. They haven't imposed it yet, but they intend to after a 30-day consultation with business leaders and other Canadians about potential targets from a preliminary list. If it's going to take 30 days, a lot can happen in 30 days. So a lot of these are from U.S. election swing states, including paint dyes and aluminum waste from Michigan, refrigerators and bicycles from Wisconsin, and aluminum powders and bars from Pennsylvania. So we'll see how this goes, how these tariffs work and what's going to happen with that. Is it going to hurt our economy? A little, and it'll hurt their economy too. It's not a win-win for either side. And it's sad to see it happen. But when it comes to President Trump in Canada, they're definitely not friends. Not many people here in Canada like Trump because he is hard to digest. And should Canada hit back at the tariffs? Oh yeah, we should. Fully agree with that. But we should also do it to other countries doing the same to us. Anyway, anyone out there listening, let me know what you guys think of the Trump tariffs and if we should be hitting back harder than what's been already suggested. Until next time, this has been the Great White North Report.
Every new government's more expensive than the last. Watch the fresh ways they have to waste our taxes fast. You can try to hang me, I'll make sure the rope gets broke. Proving once again this country's justice is